wherever you are, go ahead and find a comfortable position near the front of your mat. Maybe you're seated crisscross applesauce, or maybe you're on your shins. Whatever feels good and right and true for you. Here at the beginning of the class, we always take a couple of minutes to tune in to the breath and into what's happening in the body. So go ahead and close the eyes if that feels comfortable. Take the hands to rest, palms facing up in a receiving position. And take a few deep, slow breaths. As you breathe, notice what changes. Maybe this is the first deep breath you've taken all day. What's happening in the body, in the mind, as you put a little bit of intention into what's happening right now. As we firm up our ujjayi breath, our ocean breath, go ahead and seal the lips. Taking a deep inhale in through the nose, fill the low belly with air and hold once there's nothing more you can stuff in. As you exhale out through the nose, keeping a little constriction through the back of the throat so that that breath makes a gentle shh, like a wave crashing against the shore. This specific format of breathing helps us take in maximum oxygen supply, exercise the diaphragm, as well as stimulates our nervous system in a way that asks the body to calm down. Our human experience of stress is nothing more than a hormone response, conditioned since the times that we lived in the cave, that told us we needed to be on high alert. And yet today it's triggered by all these things in our day-to-day, our kids, our work, our relationships. But taking this moment with our breath sends a message to the body that it's okay. It's okay to calm down. All of that stuff is not actually happening to us. We are a vessel unto ourselves. As your next inhale approaches, go ahead and reach the hands up over the head, press the shoulders down, pull the palms together, and then exhale the thumbs down to your heart. In your mind's eye, repeat this phrase: I am safe in my own body. I can rest in my own body. Give a little bow. Release the heart down, and then inhale, lift the crown of the head, lift the hands back up. And as you exhale, split the hands, roll the wrists down with intention. The left hand comes down to meet the mat. As the right fingertips reach up and over, you might collapse that forearm down wherever you are. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. The intention is to stretch into that side body, peel that arm back, and then exhale. over to the other side, keeping the sit bones grounded, peeling that top shoulder back. Maybe you gaze up or maybe you gaze down, whatever feels right to you today. Inhale, reach up. Go ahead and interlace the fingers, press them up towards the sky. And then exhale, push the hands forward as you round through the upper back. Maybe you give a little bit of a swing back and forth. Massage between the shoulder blades. And as you sit up, pull the elbows into the body, keeping the hands interlaced. Elbows will come down as you press the fingertips into chin. Deep inhale in, and as you exhale, open up the neck, the throat, split the elbows. Exhale, elbows come together, chin to center. One more time, inhale. Stretch through that throat, maybe you give a little noise. Do what feels good, and then as you exhale, pull those elbows down together. We're going to take those clasped hands now behind the head, opening the chest again. Maybe you give a little bit of a rock side to side. Feel where there's tightness and use the breath to massage it out. This is where telling the body that we're safe here, that we can release, can happen and help. Find stillness in the center. Deep inhale in, and as you exhale, go ahead and lean those elbows together. Hang the chin to the chest, stretch to the back of the neck, maybe a little bit of a rock side to side. We're being gentle with ourselves. We're not ever going to pull. Just using the weight of our hands to relax that neck a little bit more. As you inhale, slowly open the chest one last time. And then go ahead and take the hands, rainbow them open. And then take them to the front of your mat as you roll up over the knees into an all-fours position. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips, hips width apart, starting to roll through the spine and create a little bit of motion. This can look however you want it to. And remember, it's not about how it looks, it's about how it feels. So explore the areas of the body that need a little bit of extra attention, release. This is all about being present with the self. And when you're ready, find a still position in all fours. Open the chest, take the shoulder blades together behind you, pull the belly button into the spine. Take a deep inhale through the nose. And as you exhale, keeping a bend in the knees, I want you to begin to lift the tailbone and press the heart towards the upper thighs for your first downward facing dog class. You can pedal out the feet here. Maybe you release one heel and then the other. Maybe you take a little twist side to side. Warming up that low body, warming up the back, the shoulders. And when you're ready, find stillness, keeping a bend in those knees, feet hip width apart, wide fingertips against the mat. Your gaze is forward as you press your heart back. Lift the tailbone into the sky. You'll feel your hamstrings engaged while still being able to maintain that flat back. So it's less about straightening the legs and more about lifting the tailbone and pressing the heart back. Deep inhale in through the nose. And as you exhale, walk the hands back towards the toes and release the heart into the chest for forward fold. You can heel toe the feet a little bit wider than hip width apart here for balance as you grab opposite elbows and allow the weight that hangs forward to counterbalance the weight that's being held in your heels. This is ragdoll pose. You can take a little rock side to side here if that feels good. Playing with balance. And when you're ready, release the fingertips down. As you inhale, drag those fingertips up the shins, lifting the heart out in front of you, halfway lift. And then exhale, release the belly to the thighs. Inhale, circle sweep all the way up, leading with the heart. Palms come together at the top, firming up through the belly button, and exhale, draw them to the heart. Breathe. From here, we're going to root into that right foot. So go ahead and take that left toe and position it down into the mat, feeling what it feels like to have more weight on the left or the right. From here, you can go ahead and draw that left toe to the ankle. If that feels good, progress it to the upper, right below the knee. And even still, if you'd like to, pull that in into the inner upper thigh. No matter where you land, there's no right way. But go ahead and take that knee and press it out. Open through the hips. Draw the belly button into the spine. Find a place on the floor to focus. And root through all four corners of the feet. If you'd like to challenge your balance a little more, I invite you to close the eyes. It's very interesting how simply the act of closing our eyes can create so much imbalance. But it's in this space that we grow our ability to trust. Even if it's for a few seconds, even if you fall out of the pose. It's an experiment that helps invite you into something you can improve in. As you exhale, go ahead and drop that foot down. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. And exhale, the hands to prayer. Root now into that left foot, all four corners, and take that right toe into the mat. Feel the balance change. And as you feel ready, you can position that foot right at the ankle, below the knee at the shin, or tuck up into the inner upper thigh. The knee comes out, opening the hips, noticing the sensations, noticing how this feels different than the other side. Root down. And again, I invite you, if this feels easy to you, try to close the eyes. Challenge yourself in a new way. Your focus is on breath and the sensations building in the body as your mind wanders. Pull it back to what's happening in your calf, in your foot, in your core as it works to stabilize the body. And as you exhale, go ahead and release that foot down. Inhale the hands all the way up. And exhale, draw them down to the heart. As you inhale, go ahead and interlace all but the pointer finger and thumb. Grow nice and tall. And as you exhale, go ahead and take a mini back bend, reaching the fingertips back. And as you exhale, split the hands and fall forward into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. The heart reaches forward. And exhale, dive down, plant the hands, and step back to downward facing dog. Bend those knees, reach the tailbone up, and breathe. As you inhale, reach the right heel up towards the sky. And as you exhale, pull the knee through between the hands for low lunge. Release the left shin, the top of the left foot. Make sure that that big toe of the right side is positioned underneath the knee. And as you inhale, reach the hands up for low lunge crescent. Breathe into that hip flexor. Open it up. Deep inhale through the nose. And as you exhale, open up to the right side. Inhale back to center. And exhale, take a little back bend if that feels good. As you exhale, cactus the hands down. Place them to frame the foot. Take the left toes into the mat, lift up. And then pull that foot in about a foot or two behind that front-facing heel as you walk the hands to the upper thigh. Aim the heart at the big toe, square the hips. Back foot is at about a 45-degree angle. As you breathe into the back of that leg, the hamstring. As you inhale, reach the arms out in front of you, lift all the way up. And then take the hands back behind you, grab opposite elbows, and begin to fold back over that upper thigh. We're focusing on closing the space between the low belly and that right thigh. Breathing gently into the back of the leg to create more release. As you inhale, reach the heart ever so slowly. Reach the hands now up overhead. And as you exhale, cactus the arms. Go ahead and take them to frame the foot, stepping the left foot back into low lunge once again. We're going to pivot now, taking those right toes and facing them opposite direction, coming onto that back leg, lifting the toe, keeping the heart lifted up. We're not crouching. We focus on putting more weight in that right heel and flexing through those front toes, breathing into the inner thigh. Lift your heart a little more. Come up onto the fingertips as you breathe. As you relax. And then slowly walk all the way over to the other side. This time focusing on the inner thigh of the right side. Remember, the heart lifts up. Weight like it's trying to come down onto that back heel. Flexing those right toes up. As you inhale, you check in on your posture, your awareness, and as you exhale, you let go of some of that tension that you've been holding on to. Body needed this. Slowly now begin to pivot, facing that left foot, placing it in front of you in a low lunge, the back of the room, hands to frame the foot. Walk now, the right foot in, 1 or 2 feet behind the right heel, lifting into that pyramid pose. Hands come to the top of the thigh as you reach the heart towards the big toe, nice flat back, and exhale to close that gap between the belly and thigh. Hips are squared towards the back of the room. Shoulders rolled back. Breathe. As you inhale now, reach the hands out in front of you as you lift the torso all the way up, and exhale the hands behind you, grab opposite elbows, roll the shoulders down and back, and as you exhale, bow forward. Breathe into the hamstring. We're open through the chest, through the shoulders. Let go. Inhale, slowly lift the heart a little bit at a time until we're fully standing. Release the hands, lift them up overhead, and as you exhale, cactus the arms, bring them down to frame the foot. Step that back foot back, and then release the shin, release the top of the foot. Make sure that that left toe is positioned right under the knee. And inhale, lift the heart for a low lunge crescent. Energy through each fingertips, focusing on that front hip flexor, opening up. Inhale in, and as you exhale, take a twist towards that left knee, open up. And inhale back to center. Exhale, find a little mini back bend. And then cactus the arms out of it, taking the hands to frame the foot. Take those back toes up into a low lunge, step back, downward facing dog. Bend in the knees, lifting the tailbone, pressing the earth away from you. Heart aimed at those upper thighs. Breathe. Slowly begin to walk the toes towards the hands and release to a forward fold. Inhale, circle sweep all the way up, leading with the heart. And exhale the hands down to prayer. Pivot to the front of the room now. You're standing at the back of your mat. Interlace all but the pointer finger and thumb. Grow nice and tall. And exhale, find a mini back bend. Slowly cactus the hands. Release all the way down, forward fold. And then walk your hands to the front of your mat. Find downward facing dog. Release now in the low body, one shin at a time. Open the knees to the wide edges of the mat. Big toes come together as you bow the heart for child's pose. Here in child's pose, you reach the fingertips forward, but I invite you to explore here. Maybe you walk side to side. Maybe you roll the forehead against the mat. What feels needed? Keep that tailbone weighted back onto the heels, but feel free to explore the posture and do something that feels good for your body today. If your hips are tight, this posture might feel a little uncomfortable. And while there are ways to alter the position to help that, maybe moving the knees in towards each other, you also know what level at which you need to be challenged. So when you feel that slight discomfort, I invite a deep breath, awareness, and as you exhale, relaxation. Let your body soften into breath and because of trust. Slowly, I invite you now to walk the hands back, the heart up, and to swing the legs around at your own pace, positioning the heels at the wide edges of your mat as you relax the back down for final Shavasana. These final moments of class we spend in deep meditation. So as I roll around the room, put out some aromatherapy, I invite you to engage all 5 senses with this practice. Your job is this: to breathe, and as the mind begins to spin stories that try to call you away from this room, you allow them to pass you by instead of interacting with them. To focus on breath, engaging with this room and this moment with all 5 senses. Take a deep inhale in. And as you exhale, sink into the floor and lose yourself. through your nose. And as you release, let go of anything that does not serve you. You can begin to awaken the body, giving a little wiggle in your fingers and your toes. And as you feel ready and led, make your way into a seated position. Begin packing up your stations. Thank you for coming to class today, for arriving at your mat, not just for me, but for you. It's a gift unto yourself. 30 minutes of intentional movement and mindfulness. I appreciate you. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Have a beautiful Wednesday. Namaste.